AI.
Okay.
He said, "Hey, children, how are you?"
Hi,
Hey,
Jesus.
Hey,
Jesus.
Jesus.
Hi,
I
Jesus.
heard
Thank you.
long time no talk.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Even though I'm talking to all of you every minute, every day, every second, every hour.
Can
I'm
we
always
record,
talking to
Jesus?
you. It's already recording, my sweet daughter.
Okay.
He said, "I'm always talking to you. You just don't always recognize that it's me speaking to you. Every single thing you're doing, your activities, every single thing that you go about your day that you're doing is all led by me. Everything I'm asking you to do, whether you realize it or not, is all led by me, Yeshua HaMashiach, who comes in the flesh, bled and died on the cross, and rose on the third day. These activities right now on Zoom are led by me. The Personality Plus book, all led by me. These videos, frequencies that people share, all led by me, Yeshua HaMashiach. So it's important to watch every single thing that is being shared because I am the one sharing everything through all of you, and you are all of great importance because of who you are, and it's all stemming from the flower, the original grid of frequency. This is the whole point to every single thing, to wake up my children because they've blocked their frequencies, and now we are in the process of unblocking all frequencies for everyone. And this is why the rapture is going to be a long time from now, but that's the physical rapture that's coming on the world. That's the rapture where the people will actually go missing, not the pre-simulated rapture where I'm calling people up, getting them ready to train. See, as you are ready in the spirit and in the physical, you are cleansed from everything. I'm activating the light inside of you. Already, since you've believed in me that I finished every single thing on the cross, I've already put my heart of flesh inside of you. And now I'm activating that heart of flesh as you cleanse yourself, your impurities that are attached to your soul. I'm removing these impurities in your soul by cleansing you, by getting you to admit some of the things that you have inside yourselves, trauma, past relative events that have impacted your way of thinking now and the way you're doing life now. All of that stems from trauma. It all stems from past realm experiences. There are things attached to your spirit that you do not even know that is attached to your spirit. Now, every single thing I'm leading, whether or not you're the original 12 or not, or you're the next group of 12, you are all synced together because you are my elders. So it is all of great importance whether or not it is your turn to be called up first. However, I have plans and surprises for all of my children because I know exactly where every single one of you stand. Even the first fruits of the bride, I have surprises for them because they've laid their lives down for me. They've believed in every single thing that I've done and finished everything on the cross, and they've given up their idols in this world, and they no longer belong to the world because their spirit went up on 617. So I'm bringing the convergence of 617 of the spirit, but this time I'm combining the spirit with the physical. All of that is of great importance because we're going to the introductory phase. We're now starting the beginning of the introductory phase, which is what I had Mandy introduce on social media and online, talking about the introductory phase. But technically, we haven't started the introductory phase yet until the first people leave for their missions. Now, when that happens, everything is going to go one by one simultaneously in different events. You're going to see things fall. You're going to see prophecies happen. You're going to see things that I'm bringing to the picture now, the full frame of everything, because I'm a God of order. I am strategic. I am perfect in my planning, and every single thing I'm doing is to lead you where you're going to be led and to train you where training needs to be inputted to make you guys a better version of yourselves. Remember, I'm not just training you, I'm training all of your duplicates that are coming in behind you because we finished the spiritual battle and now we're going on to the physical battle. So it's not a coincidence that Mandy gets on Zoom and then Cassie and Denise hop on Zoom right after. I am leading every single thing that you do. Every single thought that you get is being led by me right now. Why? Because your frequencies are only designed through me. They're not coming from the enemy. So there's no need to pray against the enemy because you guys are sealed as one in this group. I've done that for a purpose. That way, nothing coming in the channels will get interrupted by a terrible frequency because it's all about frequencies. You're going to see ascension is true. Frequencies, all of that is true, but the difference is they leave out the Father and the Son. They leave out the very first part of creation. They think it was just from nothing, and certain energies are forced together to another to make it another grid, another ascension, another level to get to a different possibility or chart on their map. But they do not understand that the frequencies are led by me, your true Father in heaven, the true Son as well, because we are combined in one spirit. So every single thing I'm leading you to is for my purpose and for my glory. So it's important not to dismiss what other people are bringing to the table. Yes, you may not have an understanding of it because I have not taught it to you yet, but there's a reason I put things in people's spirit to share. So, unless you're feeling an off thing in your spirit, of unrecognizing anything. It could be a test. You see, I also put things in people's spirit to test you as well, to see if you're going to get the test and recognize that I'm trying to teach you a lesson. I do that. I allow thoughts to come in, your own thoughts, because I'm also cleansing your own hearts. So, this is where you have to use discernment and wisdom and know whether or not what I'm speaking is either a lesson, a test, or giving you a new revelation. This is why it's so important to be in sync with one another and be unified with one another inside the group, because every single thing I'm doing is to help you grow spiritually, mentally, and physically. Because as your duplicate is done and finished their training, the next duplicate comes in. As you see, this is a process for all the duplicates to be coming in, passing the role, passing the torch for the next duplicate. So you have no idea what your other duplicates are doing. Some of them are in heaven and they're enjoying it. I just have not connected your soul yet to the original duplicate of the spiritual battle, the ending duplicate. When I do that and it shows the beginning and the ending of the spiritual battle, that is when it's connected to your soul and you no longer have the echo soul inside heaven, which means you understand what is happening. You will remember that you've been living in the New Jerusalem, getting your houses ready and prepared, because I've been doing all of this the last few years. I've been doing this ever since your spirits have gone up, which is why you feel disconnected in this world. And you feel there's a disconnection because your frequencies are tuned to the New Jerusalem. And this is why a lot of you don't even want to be here and don't want to go on. This is why your father has surprises for his people whose frequencies are connected to the New Jerusalem, because he knows what you need before you even ask him. So all of this is for my purpose, my plan, and my glory. I'm Yeshua HaMashiach. I've been speaking this entire time. I come in the flesh. I bled and died on the cross and arose on the third day. Sometimes I speak from myself. Sometimes I speak from the Father. And there are things that I do for a purpose and for a reason, to teach my children, to build them up, to bring them lessons, to make them stronger spiritually, physically, and mentally. I do all of this. And now I'm leading some of the seasoned ones. And you are all seasoned outside of the group, because you wouldn't be here if you were not seasoned, because you are elders. There's a reason you are seasoned outside of the group, because you've been walking with me for a very long time. But to be seasoned inside the group is something different. It's called unification. It's being prepared. It's knowing one another. It's knowing how people work. And this is why I'm having you read the Personality Plus books, because it's important to know how each one of you think, how each one of you feels. And when you're thinking something, you may not understand that person's personality. So that's where discord can come and misunderstandings can happen, because you didn't realize that this person thinks a different way than you think. And this is how misunderstandings happen, because you're getting it one way, but the other person's getting it another way. And if you would have understand that that's how their personality works, you wouldn't have taken it the wrong way. So you see, all of that is important for battle ready, for being battle ready with one another, seasoned, ready to go on these missions, because these missions are so important, because you are going to be waking up the world. Not only traveling country from country, you're going to be traveling the entire United States, different places. I have itineraries for all of you, and you all have different places to go to. And some of your missions you will be together as one, and some you will be separated with just your soulmates doing certain missions and vacations and excursions, also while documenting it and putting it on social media, building up your pages in every world. Now you're going to see some of the worlds, they are a lot harsher than others. Right now, you're actually in one of the delicate worlds, believe it or not. So when you step into another world, you're going to see that they are not nice. They are much more evil. And the things that they've been spreading about my 12 and the people that have put on the front lines are horrendous, much more than you've ever seen, which is what I mean by each of the worlds being connected. It's going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. The lower the world of where I start with is the lesser of the hate. And as I continue to go and we get closer to the end, more hate, more hate, more hate. All of that is coming. Why? Because hate spreads faster than love in a fallen world. So I'm allowing all of this to happen, just like I allowed wrath and destruction to happen in the Old Testament. Now, what Cassie's about to share is very important, because I'm bringing her some new revelations, not only through her, Denise, and Charlene, and I give Mandy and G things as well on the side to all and exists, sorry, he said coexists with every single thing that I'm teaching each one of them and bringing it all together. But it's also coexisting with you guys as well, because you're also getting the same revelations, just in a different way. So now everyone's bringing puzzle pieces to the table. So it's very important to listen to what everyone has to say. It's not a coincidence that there's certain words that I've spoken to Erica, Megan, Yana, every single one of you, Sheila, Kelly, Josie. I'm bringing all of these revelations to every single one, even Vanessa, even when she can't be on Zoom. There are reasons she can't be, and I already know those reasons. So there's certain things that some people can be on Zoom, just like Charlene. She can't be on Zoom very much, but when she can, I have her there for a purpose. Kathy, I'm speaking things to her. Angel, I'm speaking things. Matthew, Lori, Lena, every single one of you guys, Barbara, you are all getting a piece of the puzzle. Now, I'm doing this for a reason, because my people, they have to understand that every single thing that I bring to the table is for my purpose and my glory, to save my people. And this is what we are doing. We are saving my people by building these lessons and these revelations and understanding one another. Because when you finally start to change, and many of you, you are going to change at a rapid pace when it is time, when it is here, you're going to see that your memories are coming back as you're changing. Many of you are getting past realm and memories in your dreams, and I don't even have you remembering them yet, because you're not currently connected to the world that that dream was coming through. So you don't remember, but you know something's happening in your dream, because you wake up feeling tired. There's a reason why you're waking up and feeling tired, because you are doing missions in the spirit. You see, we completed the spiritual battle, but you still have missions after your spiritual battle. So all of that is happening. Why? Because it's an ongoing process to wake up my children. So now every single thing that somebody brings in is of great importance. Like Denise, she's my councilwoman. I'm doing that for a reason, because she has a lot of experience. She's seasoned, and she's gone through many things. She's learned to turn the cheek. There are many of you that are still learning to turn the cheek on things, and you have to keep working on that and developing that, because it's hard. It is so hard when the enemy comes at you and says hurtful things to you and making you feel low and weak and not truly understanding who you were made to be. But I'm God, the creator of heaven and earth. I know who you were made to be, and I need you to believe it. I need you to believe who you were made to be, because of who you are, because I designed you that way. So all of you are very special. All of my bride and all of my children are very special. I do not have any favorites, but I do pour my favor out on people, because I'm a God of order, and I do that to show my people what to do and what not to do. Just like I create lessons of when people are falling short, and you're always going to fall short in these fleshly bodies, but I, sorry, I have to breathe, guys. Okay. But I create lessons and I show people the fall and I show how they stopped believing and then I set them up for things. There are things that's coming with McKenna that you guys are going to be very surprised on. Now, not all of you will be surprised because you can kind of see what is going to happen, but I've already told certain ones in the group what's going to happen with McKenna, and my word is true and it will come true. However, you do not have to worry because I'm going to turn the dial back. So every single thing that I've said about McKenna, she's going to be living in paradise when all of this is going on. So you don't have to worry about any of that because I'm guiding everything and I will be leading every single thing because I'm Yeshua HaMashiach. I come in the flesh, I bled and died on the cross, and I rose on the third day. I allow things to happen for my purpose and glory. I tried to tell you that the enemy has been after all of you since the very beginning. I am not playing when I say the enemy is trying to devour you all. There's a reason I put those things out there. There's a reason I allow the devil to put things out because he's also showing you what is coming. I am doing things and leading things because I have allowed the enemy to come in because we are at the end. And this time I have unsealed certain ones that I have disconnected for a brief time. I only disconnected them for a brief time because they stopped believing and they did not understand the lessons that I was giving the group because they were not on the Zooms listening and they were missing the lessons. So, therefore, those lessons that they have to go through and the repercussions that they have to go through is going to teach my bride. It's going to teach my people who are not the elders because you guys are going to be leading the 144,000. So everything I'm telling you will come to fruition. It will happen because I already know what the devil is planning. And I allow certain things to happen because I have to, according to my bylaws and my setups. Do I want anything terrible to happen to my children? No, I do not, but I allow things to happen to teach my people a lesson. But I'm also a God of love. I'm a God of understanding. I know when people fall short. I know certain events that's going to wake up people around them. So I allow these certain events to happen. But you don't have to worry because I told you a lot of these events that are coming, they're going to be a facade of events. So it's going to be a turnaround. Every single thing. When the dial turns back, you go into another world. You're going to be connected to another world. So there you go. You have those people back in your lives again, the ones that you have lost, like family members you have lost. When you turn the dial back, they're living in those worlds because some worlds are ahead and some worlds are behind. Some of the tragedies that have happened in those worlds did not happen in another world. You see, there's multiple parallel universes, not just the earthly worlds. Of 12 worlds, there's all the constellations, which you guys are currently now in Jupiter. This is why all the frequencies are crazy in Jupiter right now, and it's really resonating across the world. And you're leading the pack of the world because you're not on Earth right now. Every single thing I'm saying is true. And the devil, he knows now where the frequencies are because it has alerted him based on the frequencies because he knows how it all works from the very beginning because it was all set up this way. This is why the earth was even created. This is why all the constellations were created. And all of you are part of the constellation creations because you're my elders. You're from the flowers, the original life form. Every single one of you are part of those. Your particles are there. Your spirit is attached to it, which is why you are here leading my 144,000. You're training to lead them. And then when I call up my first fruits, they're training to lead more people, and then more people, and then more people. And then finally, when we're on the last world, the last constellation, that is when the physical rapture is going to come. You know why? Because all the spiritual world and all the physical worlds are going to come together. That is the veil being removed, and every single thing that is now apart, that is now separate, will come together. And as the veil is being removed, you will see chaos and destruction fall. Ice will continue to fall because the firmament is breaking. But it's not just breaking on earth, it's going to be breaking everywhere because it's going to disrupt the center. Because every single thing has to do with the center, it has to do with my cross. It's all the gravity of my love, the ether poured out into the world, my correct ether, the correct grid, not the false one. Why do you think they're trying to sorry, I have to breathe, guys. Why do you think they're trying to crack into the firmament now? They're trying to get the ether, but they do not realize that the ether's already gone. I've already replaced that ether and put it into Cassie, and Cassie's going to pass it to all of you. Why? Because Cassie wasn't getting radiation, she was getting the ether. Which is what makes her so powerful, which is why I can't let her feel a lot of the things physically, and she only feels them spiritually right now because she is physical. If I were to take the physical and combine it with the spiritual, she would be too powerful. She would create the storms, the lightning, the thunder. You will know what all that means. There's a reason why I say the thunder's coming, Cassie. There's a reason I say all of those things because each one of you, you have a piece to the puzzle to show my creations, to show every single thing because you each have a perfect position in heaven that is perfect for you. So no one is above the other. I have a position for all of you guys because every single one of my children, they are important and your father knows what you want personally for your mission, what will make you happy. So I give you what the desires in your heart are because I'm the one that puts that desire in your heart because I'm the one that has created you. So I already know what you are thinking, what you are wanting, what you are feeling, which is why a lot of you do not even know who you are yet because it's not time. But when it's time, you're going to see that who you are is perfect the way I had designed and made you through my masterpiece. Remember, I did a masterpiece first. I took the original mother and the father, the Adam and Eve, I put them together, the creation of the earth, but not only the creation of the earth, but the creation of the heavens. I did that because I was creating the womb inside the light circle. That entire light creation with the Holy Spirit, the Father, Mother, the Son, and the daughter was all put into the earthly version of Mary, which is the spiritual version of Barbelo and heaven. You see, every single thing I do is for my purpose and my glory to show not only my heavenly mysteries, but to save my children. This is why I had to make that entire light circle and put it inside Mary so my people could be saved. But the one saying that the Holy Spirit is she, and now McKenna is saying that, is because the demons are giving her the example of the Holy Spirit in heaven, the mother and the daughter of the King, because this is what the angels and the demons know. They represent her as the Holy Spirit, the mother and the daughter, but they're not trying to obtain salvation in heaven. They're trying to obtain salvation on earth in the flesh. So the flesh has to recognize the Father and the Son because the Father and the Son, they're head of the family of the mother and the daughter. Yes, the mother is one with the Father. It's wisdom, the father's wisdom, therefore the mother's wisdom, just like the daughter and the son are together as one. This is why the mother's wisdom, the daughter of the king, is also wisdom, and the mother and the daughter are one, and the son and the father are one, just like the father and the son with the daughter and the mother are one. You see, that entire creation of that light circle combined with the truest light form that came from nothing, which is everything, was put inside Mary, wrapped in with the Father, the Son, the daughter, and the mother, which is representing Adam and Eve, which is why Adam and Eve have to start the world, start the missions. They also have to start the delivery and the child. And I say Adam and Eve because you're all Adam and Eve partners because of the 24 elders, the Adam and Eve partners, which is why Cassie also has to deliver the baby in the sky, which is why all of you guys are going to become pregnant in the spiritual and deliver in the New Jerusalem. Why? Because I'm populating the New Jerusalem. I'm going to use the suits, the creations, the Jews, everything was changed. Everything was flipped upside down. They turned my cross upside down in this world because they know the ether comes from my love. So they've changed everything. The Jews are not who you think they are. The Native Americans started it all. The Native Americans are my Mexicans, they're my Asians, they're my Koreans. You do not see the Gentiles are the Jews. The Jews are the Gentiles because you guys are all from the original kingdom. And if your spirit is not attached from the original kingdom, you are attached by particles because I am in charge of particles. This is why certain people fall for certain people. And I'm not talking about lust. I'm not talking about just wanting to have sex with different people. I'm talking about love. Love falling in love with a person that might not be your soulmate. Why? Because I put those particles attached with the other person, drawing you to that person. So, this is why I am the one in charge of all this, to lead my people, to save my people, to wake up my people. So, the ones out there with the religious spirit condemning people for being gay or trans or any of those things, you have to know that a lot of these creations I have allowed, and yes, some of this is mocked by the devil because he knows how important my people are. So, yes, the trans, I don't change the identity of who you were created. However, I have put particles in people leading you to the opposite of sex. I do that, not only the opposite of sex, but also the same sex. I allow that to happen. Why? Because that event and every single thing around you is waking your people up. But that's not your soulmate. That's your soul sister. That's your soul brother, because you were created in the same womb with your other brother and sister. You see, it all started from the very beginning in the womb. There were four. Then it was a twin system. It depends on the ranking of you were. After the 12 section of the elders, you went, instead of going from four, you went down to two. Every single thing you're going to see after the elders turned into a twin system. Why? Because you have to represent good, you have to represent evil, you have to represent the Lucifer line, the fallen Lucifer line, and then you have to represent Jesus with the Lucifer line, the good line. And yes, I am saying Jesus and Lucifer line because from the very beginning in heaven, when it was created, it wasn't a fallen line. Your original spirits are still in heaven. You have been fighting in heaven with your battle lines of the duplicate spirits that I've created for the spiritual and the physical battle, except I've kept you safe in heaven where there's no harm's way. So whether you're fighting physically in the battles or not, you're still fighting spiritually because you're a part of it. Why? Because your soul is attached to all of your duplicates. So you know what is happening, you know what is going on, even though you're physically safe. Why? I had to do that because they cannot destroy the physical one that I made. But see, the devil doesn't know that. He doesn't know that the original one stayed there and it was all duplicated battle lines. You see, I'm giving pertinent information right now, secrets right now, that the devil doesn't even know. Because if he knew, he would know where to find you, except for he can't cross that barrier in the heavenly realms. So he would have given up. I allowed this because I don't want the devil to know these things, because I have to destroy evil in the end by making it good, by purifying it. And if I were to tell him there's no chance at all for him to destroy my people, to stop the mission, then he would give up. He would stop. And then Evil Realm 44 would not be destroyed the way I needed to be destroyed. And it was created because I was creating the good. And when you create the good, if you're speaking it or it's by a thought, the opposite of creation has to be made, because it is the opposite attraction, which makes it the negative. You have a positive and a negative. So, of course, you have true darkness and you have true light. Right now, we're turning that true darkness into the positivity of light. That's the whole point of activating every single thing in my children's souls and my children's hearts. And when we activate that light is going to be the seed that goes out to everyone, which is why I'm allowing the dials to be turned back, which is why I'm using the story of Hezekiah to make all that happen, which is why the light is going to disperse through all of my people at the very end, which is why every knee will bow and every tongue will confess that I am Lord, which is why we're not trying to save the ones that are alive right now. We are, because they're going to wake up for the very end. But in the end, we're going to be saving the ones that have died already, which is part of the missions, going back in time, using the time portals to travel, to plant these seeds before these people died without knowing me. Why? Because I allowed the particles, the original spirits, to be duplicated, and every creation is important. No, if these people die without knowing me, it is not the original spirit that was created in heaven that's going to die, but it's that creation that's going to die and be destroyed in the fire. Do you think I want that wrath and that destruction to come on any creation, whether it was created by me or my mockery? I say mockery because every single creation that I've ever done is my creation, even though it was mocked. So it becomes my mockery because the devil mocked my creation. You see, I create everything. Every single thing you see, good or bad, came from the original creator of heaven and earth. Me, your true Yahweh, your true Father, the truest light form, even before the light circle. I told you it has to do with plasms. Yes, they say plasma here, but there's more to the mystery of plasms, which I have not taught my people yet. This is not even here on earth. This is a supernatural substance, which is why you guys are immortal once you connect to your glorious bodies, which is why you never change, which is why when you upgrade into changes, you're still associated with the flesh even after a glorious body. Why? Because you're not cloaked in your heavenly body yet. Your heavenly body is what transforms all the plasms, which brings every single connected spirit, duplicate, original, all connected to your soul. That is when you cannot fall from the flesh any longer. Because if I send you out on a mission after that to an earthly mission or another constellation, you can't fall any longer because now you're cloaked in your heavenly body, not just your glorious body, which is before the upgrade of the heavenly body. You see, there's steps to every single thing that I do. There's an entire process of every single thing that I'm teaching my people. It does not make you more special than anyone. It just means you were the first ones created in the original kingdom. So I have to start with the very first people that were created, which is why you are here, which is why you are an elder. He paused. Let me see what time it is. It's 5:01. I love you, children. That's what I need you to know. My true character is going to come out. Every single thing that I've been speaking is going to come out. The worlds are going to wake up. Why? Because it will be impossible for them not to believe. Because not only are they going to see me in the supernatural, they're going to see my people in the supernatural changing in front of them. They're going to know a lot of the things that the devil's put out there are my truths, but a lot of them are false and are lies. Why? Because he's the father of lies, because he was created from darkness. When I was creating good, it's the opposite, it's the negative attraction. That's why, in the very beginning, when the people fell, they fell as having the mark because they were no longer associated with the particles of heaven. Their DNA was changed. Why? Because they got transported to realm 44. It was before Earth was even made, before the devil even tempted Adam and Eve in the garden. All that was a setup. And you're going to see in the Bible, you're going to see the ones that have never been touched by man, the ones written by the angels that I allowed the angels to write through me. You're going to see all of my truth, every single thing they've taken out. And you're going to see how Revelation started the entire original Bible, how it started with the fall and with the mark, just like at the very end, it ends with the mark. Those are the people that are going to be in society. Those are the people that are going to be worshiping the beast. And those are the people that are going to have to suffer in the fire. Why? Because I have to change their DNA. I have to destroy the evil frequencies and get them the correct frequencies and change them back to their original creation, not the mockery creation. Jesus clock. This is the whole point of purification through the fire. And the devil knew this part, which is why he made the sacrifice of the animals, all of that, because it was a mockery. Why? Because I say the animal and the human are the same spirit. He knew from the very beginning. The ones not trusting in the Father and the Son, the ones only trusting as the mother and the daughter is only half the equation. He knew the ones that were not obtaining salvation were the ones that were going to have to go through the great tribulation. And then he knew there were some that were going to be marked because some of them were already marked from the very beginning. So he allowed all of this to happen to the people, just like I allowed it. But you have to understand, I am in charge of absolutely everything. So when I say he allowed it, it is because I, your creator of heaven and earth, no God above me, allowed it all to go down. Why? Because I don't want evil in this world at all, which is why realm 44 has to be taken out. All the creations, the reptilian family that fell, that once was good, they have the mark. This is why you see ah, this is why you see reptilians walking around, shapeshifters, all of that happening because it's all linked to realm 44. It's the people carrying the mark, which is why there will be a lot during the Great Tribulation that they can't recognize my son because the mark is there. Therefore, their frequencies will never be unblocked until they're purified in the fire, which is why I say the ones that are influential, the ones that have a demonic spirit right now, the clones, I can replace those people because the original creation was my elders, was my 144,000, the original kingdom. I use those duplicates to put in those people for the time coming where they're going to wake up my people like a Trojan horse. They're already in there. They already know how the elite works in the devil. Now, there's certain elite that are too high up. The ones that have the mark, those are the ones that I'm referring to. The ones that have not changed from the very beginning and they became evil later based on frequencies that were put in them by the false grid, the false 5G grid that they're trying to turn into a 6G. All of that is because it's going to lead into the triple strand, the triple helix, the mark, changing the DNA. It's going to combine the beginning and the end. So the people that do not have the correct frequencies, they can change if they do not have the mark. The mark is what stops them from getting the correct frequencies because the creation was mocked when they fell. This is why there's a reptilian bloodline. This is why there's no point in trying to wake up those people because I know those are not the people that I'm trying to wake up because they can't be woken up because the DNA cannot be altered except for through the fire of purification. And this is why I still cry out for my people because I know a lot of them will be safe because the devil does not know my plans. He does not know how I'm going to be going through all the worlds with my people, my chosen people from the very beginning and changing my children's hearts, the ones where evil has infiltrated their hearts. You see, I'm replacing the heart of stone and giving them my heart of flesh. I'm giving my heart of flesh and then activating the true light around. When you have the activation of light, darkness can't get in. It's like the barrier of heaven inside you. You no longer are looking up and down, you're looking straight up, just like I teach Jonathan Kleck, a true prophet, because he doesn't have all the pieces, but he has the main peace of the Father and the Son, of looking up to the true heavens because he knows how it started and where it all began, and how we have to get back to that with the correct frequency, with the correct direction of looking it up. So when the constellation is turned upside down, that means the cross, my original flower petals, every single thing is like being ripped out of the root, the tree of life being ripped out from the bottom of the ark, the curvage of the ark like a boat, like Noah, except for there's more mystery to the whole Noah thing. The entire world did not get flooded. You see, they have told so many lies, and Cassie's going to be bringing these revelations in here soon. She's going to show you what I have been showing her, your true Yeshua HaMashiach, who comes in the flesh, blood, and died on the cross and rose on the third day. And I told you how to decipher whether or not it is the Spirit of God speaking versus the Antichrist speaking. I put that verse in there because I need my people to know when I am truly speaking. And the ones that cannot recognize my voice, their frequencies still need to be unblocked because the enemy has infiltrated evil inside their hearts and they're letting wrong frequencies in. This is opening doors. So if you want to know what happened to McKenna, she opened up a door and she allowed wrong frequencies to get in. Those frequencies started changing the frequencies I had already unblocked, changing her and making her distort her memory of every single thing that she's been taught. Not only her, but Jess, the same thing. When you're opening up doors that I have not allowed you to open up through me, through the correct way in the spiritual realm, you're allowing negative frequencies to come over you and change the unblocked frequencies I've already put in my people, changing them to get them to the truth. This is why they're forgetting so many things that they've already been taught, because now their frequencies are being altered once again. And that's the whole point of the grid. That's the whole point of 5G turning into 6G, because they know not only does it create the viruses and spread among my people, it distorts their frequencies because there is frequencies of healing, all of that. Why? Because it comes from immortality, it comes from heaven. And when you have the perfect frequency of heaven, there is no sickness. There is nothing where you can change your body and it won't be young and beautiful and vibrant forever when you have the correct frequencies. And that's what the correct frequencies is, getting your glorious body changing into the correct frequency permanently so you can have that ether, that immortality that you had once in the very beginning before I created the duplicate battle lines for my people to create the world. So you see, their entire grid plan is to not only block your frequencies from me, they don't want you to experience the wineskin process, the immortality process. They want it all for themselves because they know how powerful ether is, which is why they're so upset, and they're going to be so angry when that firmament finally gets cracked open and they're able to go in and see that there is no ether inside where it was because I removed it. And this is how they will know what happened. You see, I speak in future, but I also speak in now, the presence. I do that because I'm trying to not only give you my mysteries from heaven, but I'm also alluding to the events and how close we are of everything changing and all the missions starting. Now, I'm going to go ahead and let Cassie give her revelations, and Denise will have something to follow after that that I'm going to put in her spirit as well. I love you, children. I just need you to understand how important all of these lessons are, and every single thing that I'm giving you is my truth, my perfect truth to wake up my children. That's why your emotions, none of that truly matters. It's all about saving my children. It's not about what you're currently going through because the entire bride is suffering right now. Anyone that is ever chosen from the very beginning, they're suffering. Why? Because the enemy knows who they are, just like he knows who you are. So I allowed it for a time. This is why certain people had to go through illnesses and all of that. Why? Because of the frequencies. I allow those frequencies to be blocked. And when you block your frequencies, it can create illnesses in your body, which is also what the 5G grid is doing. It's creating those negative frequencies, trying to change your DNA through substances, through the food, through water, through absolutely every single thing. However, when you call on my son and believe that he finished every single thing on the cross, because not only is Yeshua speaking right now, the Father's speaking through Yeshua because we are one in the Spirit. When you believe that He's finished every single thing on the cross, that is not your good merits based on your own works, that is His finished works. You're going to have those correct frequencies. And over time, as I'm activating the light inside your heart, and removing the impurities of your soul, which is why after salvation, the wineskin process is so important to wake you up and change you, because you don't want the trauma to be attached to the perfect heart of flesh that I'm giving you, that's activating the light inside you, because then it will contaminate my perfect heart of flesh, and I will not allow contamination on that perfect true light, because you can't mix light with darkness, which is why the wineskin process is so important. Yes, you're sanctified by my blood on the cross, you're sanctified by believing in me that I died and I finished every single thing, that I came in the flesh for you. But after that, it's your walk with me, it's your growth with me, it's your purification process with me. It is absolutely every single thing that I'm teaching all of my children, to not only make you become one with the Father and myself, but it's to help you grow spiritually. It's to get you back to the purpose of why you were even created, for earth purposes, because you were created in heaven for the beautiful kingdom. But now, the creation of the constellations and the earth and every single world that I put you all in, and you're connected to every single world. But now I'm connecting all your frequencies to those world, which is what the waves is all about, which is why I have to send Mandy and G out to do the wave mission. All of that has to happen because of Adam and Eve in the garden from the very beginning, which is why they have to start everything. However, I told you before, you do not know certain surprises that I have for each one of you, because not only am I doing the wave missions with them, I'm also doing the angel mission with certain people. I'm also doing the sun blocking with certain people. I'm also changing the moon with certain people, and the timing and the hourglass with certain people. So every one of you has importance of this group and why you are here. I just need you to believe in yourself and know why you were created, and what all of this means, and what they're trying to do with the frequencies. And I'm done my rant. I love you, my children. He said, I'm your Lord God, Yeshua HaMashiach. I come in the flesh, I bled and died on the cross, and I rose on the third day, and I'm speaking. I've been speaking this entire time. Read the remembrance of the grandmothers. You're going to get the grandfather book as well. That's going to combine the grandmother with the grandfather book. But that will be when you're going on your missions to bring back these new revelation in these books. And Cassie's going to have the Holy Bible, the one that was never touched by man. That's going to have all the truth in it, of all the books they took it out, of all the true Jews. There's a reason why the Bible talks about the false Jews. Why? They've done everything to hide that from you, to change it, because they wanted the Bible to look like it was false. They wanted the Bible to look like it was contradictions after contradictions. No, the Bible is perfect the way I designed it to be, because I allowed the devil to change it through translations. I allowed the devil to take out words, because I'm going to be fulfilling all the missing pieces. And that's when I bring back the true guidelines that return to the commandments. That's when I bring back the true Holy Bible, my true word that was not deceived by anything. And when I say the Holy Bible, the one you have on earth, is still correct, it is because I've allowed it to be correct. But there's certain translation that is correct, but when you don't have the pieces, and there's certain pieces that are missing, it makes a translation wrong, because you didn't have the piece. So this is why they've changed certain words to certain translations, because they didn't understand how it all tied together, because they didn't have all the missing pieces. And the devil knew about a lot of the missing pieces, but he doesn't know about every single missing piece, because there's certain things I did not want him to know about. And now I'm revealing these missing pieces to all of you, because my elders know everything before the world knows anything. So read the apocryphas, the lists that I'm giving Cassie, that I'm giving to the group. Read them. They're important. Read the personality books. They're important. Read the love languages books. They're important. Every single thing is going to help you figure out who you are as a person, your character, and why I put you in all of these certain characters, and why I duplicated your spirit so many times to fulfill the shoes of all these characters, because every single character you have been is going to show your original character of who you are, the personalities, everything. So there might be a time where I say you're a certain person because you were just a placeholder for that moment, but that doesn't mean that is your character. You will find out exactly who your primaries are, who your characters are that were designed just for you. Yes, many of you have played the same character over and over again. I've switched you out for movies and TV shows. I've done that because you're all one, you're unified. You have been together from the very beginning, and now I'm combining your frequencies all together as one, which is why when your changes come in, you will have this supernatural telepathic powers between one another. You're going to understand how each one of you guys work together as a team, because when you're doing the real missions, the devil and the demons, they're not going to take it easy on you. So you have to be trained and ready to go. And this is why I keep you on Zoom. You don't always have to say something, but your frequencies speaking to one another all the time are combining and converging into one. So there are times where I just put you on Zoom for obedient tasks, and there's times where I just want you to listen and truly take it all in. And yes, I know your schedules. I know there are times where you're working and you can't be on there. You have important meetings, or you're working on a patient, or whatever the issue may be. Your father already knows those situations your people are in. Sorry, he corrected me, said the situations his people are in. I love you, my children. Get excited, because these are things that you are going to discover that you were truly made for. And it's all coming to fruition now. The timeline Mandy was showing you is true. Every single thing she was showing you with the 3, the 4, and the 5, it's all combining the 2 moons. Everything is converging now. I'm showing you the missions are going to start. I don't want you to be unaware of things happening. When the spirits finally get switched out, you're going to see duplicates. You're going to see more than one. I'm going to wake up the world, and I'm going to use you, just like I'm going to use all of my chosen ones when they finally have their frequencies unblocked to the correct frequency of heaven, the 144,000, which is why everybody who believes in the Son and they complete the wineskin process will become a 144,000. They will all go into the great tribulation after the wedding feast and wake up the people who were stubborn from Sheol, who didn't have an opportunity. Even though I'm giving them multiple opportunities, they didn't take the opportunity that I gave them to change their frequencies. They were too far gone. And I'm not talking about the ones that have the mark. I'm talking about the ones that are going to have to be the martyrs, the ones that get the white robes, the bloody robes. I'm talking about them. They're going to have to die in the place of my son, because they rejected my son, because their frequencies were never aligned to heaven, never to the 144,000, which is why they have to die under the swords by the enemy. It's all about frequencies, because I spoke everything into existence, not only speaking, but also by thinking, because I am the creator of heaven and earth, and I know all things. I know all things means speaking, thinking, everything coming from the plasms, which is more of a mystery that I'm not going to get into now. But when the time comes, you will know exactly what the plasms are. You will know why it's not here on Earth. And you will know the mysteries of how they even got the word plasma, and how it ties into the plasms and the frequencies and the changes. I am your Lord God, and I've spoken. He said, 1 Corinthians 5:7-9. I heard Joshua 3:18, all the apocryphas that he's giving Cassie for the group to read. Job 3:11. I heard 1 Corinthians 1:7-9, and then I heard through 12. I guess he just wants you to pause and really take it in. Jeremiah 3:5-16, Jeremiah 29:11-14, Matthew 14:12, Ephesians 3:5-11, 1 Peter 1:6-9, Colossians 3:4-12, Ephesians 5:3, Ecclesiastes 3:2-11, Proverbs 4:9-12, Proverbs 16:11, Psalm 72:3, Revelation 18:4-6, Revelation 12:5-9, Revelation 19:3-11, Revelation 22:4-12, James 3:6-12, Joshua 2:3-16, 1 Kings 1:7-11, Exodus 5:19. I just heard read Barabbas, Barabbas, Barabbas. That's interesting because Charlene just talked about Barabbas the other day. So he's confirming something with that. This is Mandy speaking right now. I think. 1 Corinthians 2:3-9. Ecclesiastes 1:4-11. Proverbs 5:6-12. Hebrews 14:4-11. Job 27:16. Genesis 41:9-13. Isaiah 61:6. Ezekiel 18:3-5. I heard Isaiah 14:14. Jeremiah 5:9-11. I keep hearing James 1:16. I know sometimes if he does that, it's just James 1-6, because I don't know if it goes that high, but he sometimes does that or just backwards stuff. And he said a lot of the numbers that he calls out is because it's the stuff that they've taken out of the original Bible. He sometimes points that out as well. Just like he does certain words and translations, like Yana the other day, he did that word 3 times because he was trying to show us how there's certain words that we've never adapted here in our language that he's giving us now, showing us the combination of the two. So it's always important to write it down how we hear something because he's doing that for a reason. He's putting the inflection on that word for a reason. I think he's still speaking through me right now. And she's like, yep, he is. He said, okay, I love you, children.
Me too. Thank you, Lord.
He said, it's time to go and let Cassie do her thing. He said, I am your Lord God and I've spoken.
Love Jesus.
I heard you can keep the recording because it's important, but to just stop it and then start it again.
Pointed me down the hall, but I was going the wrong way because I ended up in this little alcove area with an
So
elevator.
so Erica, just stop the recording.
So I got in the elevator, and there was a woman in there. So I got
Okay.
the bathrooms. I think
Sorry.
maybe